let's head over to the NBA. We'll break down what happened last night. We'll go over through all the games. We'll go a little bit deeper into the stats, and then we'll do our moneymaker. Gonna hit again. 2 days in a row. Our moneymaker is gonna hit. Cannot wait. So we'll do that. We'll do our moneymaker, and then we'll head over to our NBA power rankings, and then we'll do our NFL draft prospect of the day, and then we are out of here on this nice, gorgeous Friday. Oof, it's nice out. Alrighty, here we go. First game up, 76ers and the Mavericks, one of our moneymaker games. 76ers minus 4.5, and like we said, they won by 14. Absolutely fantastically well done. Mavericks, no Kristaps Porzingis. They have to, rely on Boban, and, I do like Boban. I think he can play, but, against Joel Embiid, like we said, there's really only a couple of players that can guard Joel Embiid very well. Anthony Davis is probably the biggest one. Jokic, decently. Rudy Gobert, not too much, because, he stretches the floor. Joel Embiid stretches the floor too much for Rudy Gobert. So there's really not a lot of players that can guard Joel Embiid, and Boban Marjanovic was not one that could guard him. So 76ers 8 all day. Great performance by everybody. Danny Green stepped up. I even think Seth Curry stepped up. We'll have to double check that. But, you got Joel Embiid. You got Ben Simmons. Only against Luka. I'm taking the 76ers, and we did. And they win outright pretty heavily with a 14-point win. Alrighty, Nets and the Magic. That was great value with the Nets minus 8. We should have taken it. We played it a little too safe there and didn't, but they win absolutely outright here, 129-92. An absolutely big old 37-point win, just dominant from start to finish. And that's what we know about this Nets team, though, folks. They're super, super fantastic. While the Magic, they've only got Vucevic, and nobody else really stepped up consistently for that team. So we can always bet on the Nets. We can always take the Nets, and we've got them moving up in our power rankings. Potential number one. We'll see. Alrighty, then Kings and the Knicks. Very well done to the Knicks. Derrick Rose gets elevated to the starting lineup and had a pretty decent game there. So absolutely fantastic. And the bench still performed very well with our Derrick Rose off the bench as well. So Knicks had it all going. They beat the Kings, just kind of outscoring the Kings 140-121. Another one of our moneymaker picks with the Knicks minus 2. And we are believers in this Knicks team, folks. They are a rising team, trending upwards team. And now that Derrick Rose is in the starting lineup with R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle, they've got a little bit of a mini three here. Obviously not a big three, but a mini three that can get it done on a nightly basis, as we saw last night. So Knicks are back, baby. Get excited. Alrighty, Clippers and Grizzlies, and the Grizzlies beat up the Clippers big old bad. A 28-point win, 122-94. Just an absolute slaughter by the Grizzlies. And hey, a well-rested Clippers team, it's not impressive anymore. So I'll spoil it. We took them out of the top 10. They were only number 8 in our power rankings coming into this week, but I'm so over them. They've got so much rest. Kawhi Leonard, load management. Paul George, load management, blah, blah, blah. And they're so well-rested that they can't even beat the Grizzlies. And I like the Grizzlies, but you can't beat the Grizzlies. Why not? They should have had no problem, but Dillon Brooks back in the starting lineup for the Grizzlies propels them. That's kind of something we've been waiting for, Dillon Brooks to get back in the starting lineup. He is there. I think he was the leading scorer of the squad, and they get the job done. So super over the Clippers. We're not even talking about them in the top 10 anymore. Like we said, well-rested teams that aren't winning consistently. What are we doing? We've got, the Suns that are winning game after game after game and not resting their players. The Jazz winning game after game after game and not resting any of their players. And, the Clippers resting everybody every single night. And, when everybody plays, they don't win or can't even score more than 100 points. So we're over the Clippers, folks. Truly over the Clippers. Alrighty, Wizards and the Nuggets, and this one came down, and if you were on Twitter or just watching the game, really kind of controversial decision. They had like a 4-on-1 break, only down 2 points at really the last seconds of the game, and they take a three-pointer that's wide open, but they miss it. Unfortunate, and the Wizards win 112-110. So Wizards getting a little bit back on track here. We may move them into the top 10. I know we've been talking about it all week, but do we actually do it? We're not going to spoil all of our power rankings here, but Wizards a little impressive here, beating the Nuggets. At least they were competitive against the Nuggets. You could say, oh, the Nuggets blew the game and the Wizards shouldn't have won. Okay, y'all can say that, but the Wizards at least were competing, and within a point, 2 points, they actually had the lead at the buzzer beater. So the Wizards at least were competitive all game against the Nuggets, and the Nuggets blew the game. So you have to put them on them. So big win here for the Wizards. Absolutely fantastic, beating the Nuggets 112-110. 110. And then the last game of the night, our last game in our moneymaker that sealed it for us, a victory, a big old win, 3-4-3, absolutely fantastic. Pelicans +9, they lose by 4, 125-129 over the Bucks, and just unfortunate, kind of the Pelicans had a chance to win the game. It was a little bit of a hot potato. Who is going to take the last shot? We obviously saw last night, and we've got the tape again, that the Pelicans, they don't have that person. They never talked about who's going to take the game-winning shot. Brandon Ingram, Zion, Lonzo Ball, Tobias Harris, Zion, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, who's going to take the last shot? Obviously, the Pelicans have never talked about it because it was just hot potato. They passed it and passed it and passed it and passed it and passed it too many times, because then they get a charge call and they lose possession and they lose the game because of that. But we'll break that down when we get to this game. But very well done for the Pelicans to actually they had the lead multiple times throughout this game. In the fourth quarter they had the lead, in the third quarter they had the lead. So very well done by the Pelicans to kind of compete against the Bucks, and we had them +9, which was great value. So we'll take it. So good win for the Bucks here. Great competition, great performance by the Pelicans, especially in a back-to-back. So we'll definitely, we are still buying this Pelicans team a little bit. We do want to start seeing them beat these kind of better teams a little bit more, but at least they are kind of still in this competing phase, and we'll see what happens, this last week before the All-Star break. If they can kind of turn that around, or if they're going to have to kind of wait until the second half of the season to really start to kick it into gear and winning these games consistently. Alrighty, so let's go a little bit deeper into these stats now. We'll go right back up to the top here to the 76ers and the Mavericks. So let's start here with the 76ers. Ben Simmons, 15 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds on 54% shooting, just kind of being the pure defensive player that he is. We know we don't expect him to put up all these points. We expect him to kind of assist, rebound, and play defense, and that's kind of what he did last night. So very well done to Ben Simmons. Shut down defense against the Mavericks for the win. Seth Curry, 15 points, 3 steals, 2 assists, 3 rebounds on 66% shooting, 3 of 3 from 3. So very well done by Seth Curry. That's what this team needs. You got Joel Embiid for the beef down low. You got Ben Simmons for the defense. You got Seth Curry and Danny Green for the 3. And then you got Tobias Harris, who can literally do whatever. He can do everything. He can score down low, the 3s, the defense. He can play it all. So they've got a complete lineup here, and we absolutely love the 76ers for that reason. Joel Embiid, 23 points, 9 rebounds on 25% shooting, so that wasn't great, but still just a performance by everybody else, kind of elevating, the lackluster shooting night of kind of these other performers. So kind of like Tobias Harris, only 6 points and shooting 28%. So kind of crazy that Tobias Harris and Joel Embiid were the worst shooting percentage players of the starting lineup. Usually that goes to Danny Green and Seth Curry, but Danny Green and Seth Curry had a pretty decent night. Danny Green, 6 points, but he only took 4 shots, and all 4 of those shots were 3, and he hit 50% of them, so not terrible overall. 4 rebounds, 2 steals, just kind of being a decent defensive piece as well. So got to shout out the entire starters here, really kind of getting it done collectively, defense, offense, and shutting down the Mavs. And then off the bench, Shake Milton, 10 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds. A great game by him in only 19 minutes. And Dwight Howard off the bench having a great performance, 14 points and 8 rebounds in only 16 minutes. So really, no Kristaps Porzingis for the Mavericks. I mean, this is nothing great. They got no beef down low. We can go and talk about the Mavericks now. As we said, Boban Marjanovic starts at the number 5 because no KCP, Kristaps Porzingis. 7 points by Boban, 12 rebounds on 27% shooting. So once again, just a great defensive effort, not allowing Boban to eat down low, because we know he can. He's definitely a solid big in this league. Absolutely. Luka Doncic, he was the leading scorer, but had a lackluster game, and nobody else stepped up. Nobody stepped up in place of Luka Doncic. A little bit of, not a poor performance, but it's a light performance on what he usually does. And no Kristaps Porzingis, he's usually kind of your second scoring option. So they needed somebody else to really step up in place of kind of the poor performance night, shooting the ball wise and point wise, and nobody did. And that's why we stay away from this Mavs team really kind of on a nightly basis. So Luka Doncic, only 19 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds, which, I mean, to anybody else is a decent game, but, not to Luka, who can go 35, 10, and 10, 35, 10, and 9, 30, 41, 12, and 15. He can do that, but not a great performance here by him. Josh Richardson, 13.6 rebounds, not bad. 0 of 4 from 3, though, unfortunately. Maxi Kleber, 6 points. Dorian Finney-Smith, 6 points on 28% shooting. So it's just nobody stepped up in the scoring department. Off the bench, we got Jalen Brunson with 11 points, not terrible. And Tim Hardaway Jr. with 12 points. Just once again, not terrible, but nobody elevated their play. Nobody stepped up and said, you know what, I'll be kind of the number 2 option here. I'll be the second scorer. And that's what the Mavericks are lacking a little bit here. So a loss here by the Mavs, unfortunately, but very well done to the 76ers. All right, let's move on to the Nets and the Magic now. In the Brooklyn Nets, without Kevin Durant, still get it done. James Harden, 20 points, 7 assists, 9 rebounds on 43% shooting. Kyrie Irving shot better than James Harden this game. Love seeing that. 27 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds on 61% shooting. Didn't shoot great from 3, 1 of 6, but still overall a great night by Kyrie Irving. DeAndre Jordan, 8 points, 11 rebounds. Yes, sir. Joe Harris still getting into the mix. 14 solid points here, 2 assists, 3 rebounds on 4 of 6 shooting from 3. Fantastic. And Bruce Brown getting involved too. 14 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds on 66% shooting. I mean, these starters all step up their game, and it's because, you know, James Harden's a fantastic facilitator, and they got great hitters, and Bruce Brown and Joe Harris, and, you know, Landry Shamet off the bench, and Nicholas Claxton off the bench, just all having great games. As we said, Landry Shamet here, 19 points, 9 rebounds. Nicholas Claxton, 10 points, 4 steals, 1 assist, 3 rebounds. So, I mean, folks, this Nets team is so deep. They don't even have Kevin Durant. Jeff Green didn't even play. James Harden only put up 20. Kyrie went for 27, and everybody else just elevates their play, and that's why this Nets team is so freaking dangerous, folks. Forget about the big 3 that they have. They kind of have like a big 7, honestly. DeAndre Jordan, Joe Harris, Bruce Brown, I mean, along with Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Kevin Durant, and then let's just say Landry Shamet off the bench. That is a big old 7, folks. All those players can get it done night in, night out. You can count on those players whenever you need to. Whenever one player is not going to step up, one of those other 6 in that big 7 will, folks. So watch out for this Nets team. They're playing so freaking good. They're blowing out teams. They're winning games, and they're back on track here. Alrighty, now let's talk about the Magic. Let's see what they did. Let's start here with Vucevic, 28 points, 12 rebounds, doing what Vucevic does. Who else steps up here? We get James Ennis, 15 points, 3 rebounds on 100% shooting. Absolutely fantastic. Love seeing that man stepping it up a little bit. Unfortunately, Al-Farouq Amino gets his start at the 4 here, and only 2 points and 4 assists and 3 rebounds on 16% shooting. Definitely could be a little bit better. Evan Fournier, 8 points and 3 assists on 33% shooting, 1 of 5 from 3. Once again, really not stepping it up. Michael Carter-Williams, 11 points, 5 assists, not terrible by him. And then off the bench, what do we got? Dwayne Bacon, 11 points on 40% shooting, 1 of 6 from 3. It's just nobody's going to step up consistently and put up the points like Vucevic can. They have Aaron Gordon for that, but when Aaron Gordon's on the floor, Vucevic doesn't elevate his play. So a little unfortunate here by Terrence Ross off the bench, only 5 points on 11% shooting, and just nobody steps it up. There's no great scorer on this team, unfortunately. Alrighty, let's move on to what's the next game up here, Knicks and the Kings. Oh yeah, let's talk about some Knicks, baby. Let's start with the all-star of the Knicks, Julius Randle, 21 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists on 50% shooting. Great night by him. Nerlens Noel, 8 points, 7 rebounds. Alright, a little light by him. RJ Barrett, 12 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds on 62% shooting. Very well done. Reggie Bullock, 10 points, 1 steal, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Not too bad overall. And then Derrick Rose in the starting lineup, 18 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds on 63% shooting. A great night by him. Love seeing that. So is Derrick Rose going to continue to be the starter? Most likely here. A great performance in game 1 off the bench, elevated to the starting role here. So very well done to Derrick Rose, truly deserved, and we'll love to see what this Knicks team can do, truly. And then off the bench, even better than what the starters did. Their two top scorers came off the bench. Alec Burks, 24 points, 4 rebounds on 66% shooting off the bench. Very well done. Taj Gibson, a great performance off the bench as well. 9 points, 7 rebounds. And then Emmanuel Mother-Loving quickly, folks, just taking over off the bench, leading scorer for the team in only 20 minutes of play off the bench. 25 points, 2 steals, 3 assists on 50% shooting, just getting it done. The starters all got it done. The bench just freaking went above and beyond with 2 players in 20-plus point scoring. So this Knicks team, I think they're the real deal, folks. We'll see if they can, kind of start beating, the better teams, the kind of, above average teams. Because, the Kings, we talk about them. They're falling down hard and couldn't get back on track in this game. But well done to this Knicks team. I am kind of impressed. They're a little deep. As we said, no really big superstar. I don't really count Julius Randle as a superstar. He's an all-star this season, really not a superstar. Derrick Rose, unfortunately, he's got the history with the injuries. So, he's kind of a little bit of a shell of himself, a little bit. So he's really not a superstar anymore. They do have all-stars. I would classify Julius Randle an all-star, RJ Barrett kind of an all-star, Derrick Rose an all-star, but, just a lot of role players all on this team, and they're all getting it together. So love seeing that. Alrighty, and the Kings now, let's start here. They move Buddy Hield to the 1 and De'Aaron Fox to the 2 here in the starting lineup. Did that change? Not really. De'Aaron Fox still had a great game, 29 points, 11 assists, 4 rebounds. But Buddy Hield still not really stepping it up too much here. 9 points, 1 assist, 4 rebounds, and 30 minutes on 33% shooting. So definitely Buddy Hield. He's got to, figure out where he fits in this starting lineup, because I think we've seen him at the 3 a little bit. We saw him at the 2. We see him here at the 1. And really, there's just really nothing consistent here by this man. So got to see him step it up a little bit more consistently here. Raquan Holmes, 9 points, 6 rebounds. Not bad by him. Harrison Barnes, 22 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds on 58% shooting. Very well done. And Marvin Bagley, 19 points and 5 rebounds on 58% shooting. So decent job by the starters. Unfortunately, Buddy Hield couldn't step it up. Tyrese Halliburton, their rookie off the bench, had a good night. Actually, a great night. 17 points. 4 steals, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. He did play 32 minutes off the bench, but still, really doing everything. Points, rebounding, defense, getting it done, and that's what Halliburton can do. So maybe elevate him into the starting role. I do know he is a rookie, so they may be taking it slow, but we have seen rookies do work in the starting lineup. Best case is probably LaMelo Ball. So we'll see if Tyrese Halliburton ever gets elevated to the starting lineup. Maybe have Buddy Hield off the bench, because it's really, it's not like he's having great success in the starting lineup. The worst plus minus in the game, minus 22, and just really no great production offensively. So Buddy Hield, he's got to get it together. Maybe come off the bench, elevate Tyrese Halliburton. We'll see what happens, but this Kings team, they got to do something, because this skid, I think they're officially, what are they on officially, a 10-game losing streak? What do we got here? 9-game losing streak. Not good at all. Not good at all. I would say trash. I would classify that as trash. Alrighty, now let's go to Grizzlies and the Clippers. Let's start here with the Grizzlies, and you would probably think, oh, Grizzlies blow out the Clippers. Jamal Murray must have had a great game. No, it's just everybody collectively had a good game. Ja Morant, 16 points, 7 assists, 2 rebounds on only 50% shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, not great. It's kind of average. Grayson Allen, 10 points, 2 of 2 from 3, 66% overall, and 2 assists to go along with that. So great night by Grayson Allen as well. I won't say great night. I'll say a decent night by him. Let's say efficient night. That's better. Efficient night by Grayson Allen. Jonas Valanciunas, 16 points, 15 rebounds. Yes, sir. Getting it done. Kyle Anderson, 13 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds. And then Dylan Brooks back in the starting lineup, back in the lineup just in general here. 19 points. Led the starters in scoring. So very well done. Dylan Brooks is a huge reason why this Grizzlies team is going to have success, if they do have success in the back half of the season, which I think they will now that they're all healthy. So, this is a good starting lineup here. This is a solid starting lineup, and I would put faith that this starting lineup can go toe-to-toe with really any of the teams on a nightly basis. So, Very well done to them. Now let's start talking about the bench because they did get some solid contributions off the bench. Tyus Jones, the leading scorer for the squad off the bench and just in the team in general here. 20 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds in only 15 minutes of play. 81% shooting, 9 of 11 from the field in only 15 minutes. I mean, talk about efficient. Get in, get out, all the points. Yes, sir. And then we get Brandon Clark, 9 points, 8 rebounds in 22 minutes off the bench. And Justice Winslow, 9 points, 6 rebounds in 21 minutes off the bench. So great job by the starters. Great job by the bench players. Everybody working together for the win. And the Grizzlies, nice win over the Clippers. Now let's go to the Clippers now. Why did they lose? Well, Paul George, 13 points on 25% shooting. I mean, that will do it. That will do it alone. Kawhi Leonard, only 17 points. He still had 7 assists and 5 rebounds on 42% shooting. Not the best. 1 of 5 from 3. Once again, not the best. So Kawhi Leonard, a little bit of a light night. Paul George, definitely a light night. And nobody else really stepped it up. Serge Ibaka had 13 points, 7 rebounds, 3 of 4 from 3. Well done by him. Nicholas Batum, only 4 points on 25% shooting. Patrick Beverley, 5 points on 28% shooting. Lou Williams off the bench, 9 points, not terrible. Reggie Jackson led the scorers off the bench, 12 points on 55% shooting, not terrible. Marcus Morris had 9 points. Zubac off the bench, 7 points, 6 rebounds. So just nobody stepped it up for the Clippers. And at least, the Grizzlies had Tyus Jones score 20 off the bench. He's the only person that scored 20 or more points in this game. So that's kind of the main difference, even though they kind of won by 30. It's just the Grizzlies were a little bit deeper in this game. So Clippers, we are over this team. I mean, folks, Kawhi Leonard, game management, load management, not playing every single game. Same thing with Paul George. And then they lay stinkers. How can you have stinkers when you're fully rested? We're over the Clippers, truly. You cannot be having all this rest and still not win games consistently. It doesn't make any sense, folks. So, truly over the Clippers, over them. We don't have them in the top 10. I don't want to hear anything about it. Over the Clippers, 1,000%. Maybe they can kind of rebound in kind of during the All-Star break, but until they do it, we're not going to believe it. So, over them. Over them. All right, let's head over to Wizards and Nuggets now. As we said when we kind of were prefacing this game, Wizards win by 2 in kind of a little wonky fashion. So let's break down the last kind of 6 seconds of this game. So here we go. Washington up 2-0. Nuggets are getting the rebound here and are pushing the pace here, not taking the timeout, even though they've got 2. I like the advantage here. I mean, they're on a 4-on-1 fast break down 2 with 5 seconds left. Yes, give me that. So what happens here, though? They push the ball. Jamal Murray, all the 3 players besides Jamal Murray go to the 3-point line. Jamal Murray stops his dribble, shoots it out, or kicks it out to number 7 there for the 3-pointer, and he misses it. Truly unfortunate. Now, I've got no problem with taking the 3 here. Go for the win if but that's a 4-on-1 fast break. This kind of broke the internet saying, everybody was wrong here, that they made the wrong choice. They didn't, nobody went to the basket. I mean, they could have had an easy cutter to tie the game to go into overtime, so they could have done that, but they rushed to the 3-point line. Capazzo tries to freaking hit the game-winning 3. I wouldn't even trust him in the order. I think I have Jamal Murray 1 as kind of my final score, Jokic number 2, and Michael Porter number 3. Unfortunately, Jokic wasn't in the picture here. Jamal Murray was pushing the floor, and Michael Porter Jr., he was at the 3-point line, but he gave it to Capazzo. Capazzo didn't swing it for an extra pass. And how do you just not make this wide open 3? I mean, I know everybody's clowning this Nuggets team for, nobody cutting to the basket because it's literally wide open. You could have gotten the easiest layup there is. So they settle for the 3, but how do you not make this 3? Can we talk about the 3? I mean, this is wide open. I know the pass wasn't great. You had to bend down all the way low for it, but still, I mean, you've got to hit these 3s. I mean, these are wide open for the win. You don't make this? You don't cash out on this? What are we doing here? If you're not going to hit this shot, what shot are you going to make? Probably none. So, unfortunate here for the Nuggets. And then what I really don't like is, what is Jamal Murray thinking? After the game, he goes to Twitter and posts this shot, this angle of, all three of these players standing around at the three-point line. You're dissing your own team for losing a game. It's unfortunate, but it's a wide open three. So, and you picked up your dribble. You could have continued to push the ball and, maybe go inside for your own layup as well. But you decide to throw a bad pass. This is a bad pass. You picked up your dribble to shoot over a bad pass. I know, these three other players at the three-point line didn't crash the basket. And yes, that is kind of a little unfortunate. At least one player should have had the option. You don't need three players standing around here. But yeah, I don't like that you call out your own team like this, especially on social media in public. What are we doing? Do y'all not understand kind of, the psychology that goes into team sports? You cannot have a you cannot give like your teammates a sour taste in their mouths because they'll resent you and they won't get over this. And then there's just unnecessary drama in your locker room when you're one of the best teams in the league. You're a solid team here. What are they officially? Oh, they actually dropped down to the 8th seed. So, all right. So, but still, a solid team. They're still a solid team. But either way, don't like Jamal Murray going to Twitter and showing this angle. This is what he said, this angle, ... What? Bruh, what do we're a team. You lose and win as a team. I hate this. I hate that Jamal Murray went on Twitter and really was dissing his teammates a little bit. And then, obviously, I don't like Capazzo taking the last shot. He should have swung it. Did he have time to swing it? Let's see. He had 1 second to swing and get the shot off. Probably not enough time to swing and for Michael Porter Jr. to get the ball, unfortunately. But still, either way, Nuggets lose, Wizards win. And that's how it happened. So let's start here with the game-winning Wizards team. We know that Russell Westbrook is on a 2-game streak of 4 or less turnovers. Let's see if he can keep it up. We allow Russell Westbrook 4. We allow him 4. We don't like 4. We would like it to be 3 or less, but we allow Russell Westbrook 4 for everything else he does in this game. So let's see where he was at in this game. 16 points, 5 turnovers. Ugh. So, all right. Broke the streak, but at least we know he could streak a little bit, so that's good. It's positive. We can see that he can have less than 5. So 16 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds. Great night by him. 35% shooting definitely needs to be better. 5 turnovers definitely needs to be better. But the man's a freaking dog on the floor, so you got to give it to him. Bradley Beal, great game by him. 33 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds on 52% shooting. Efficient. We get Moritz Wagner, 6 points, 8 rebounds at the 5. Rui Hachimura, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists on 56% shooting. Great night by him as well. And then Garrison Matthews, 6 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds on 33% shooting to round out the starters. And then off the bench, decent performances here. Raul Neto, 16 points, 5 steals, holy moly, 4 assists and 2 rebounds on 50% shooting. So great night off the bench by him. And Robin Lopez off the bench, 10 points, 3 rebounds on 71% shooting in 25 minutes. So not terrible off the bench here. Great night by the Stars. Bradley Beal, Russell Westbrook. Unfortunately, no David Bertans. He did not go. We said he was a game-time decision, but he did not go, and they still get the win. And Rui Hachimura steps up. So great night over this Wizards team. They've got some playmakers. Obviously, they got the superstars in Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. They've got kind of, a solid bench with Neto and Robin Lopez. And, Rui Hachimura steps up. David Bertans, coming off the bench or in the starting lineup. I think we've seen both by him this season, and he can kind of step it up as well. So a decent squad here. We'll see if they can keep it up this week. But, yeah, great win over the Nuggets here. All right, now we go to the Nuggets. Jamal Murray, 34 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds on 52% shooting. Jokic, 24 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. So the top 2 here get it done. The top 3, we should extend that to because Michael Porter Jr., 18 points, 10 rebounds on 53% shooting. Probably his best game of the season so far, or his best game ever since he got back into the starting lineup here after the injury. So very well done by the big 3. And as we said, for Kondo Capazzo, he ended up taking the game-winning 3, but he was 1 of 7 for the entire game. He was 1 of 6 up until that point. You should not be taking that 3. I understand that's just kind of how, they fell into line, but still, we need somebody else. Michael Porter Jr. was 3 of 7 from 3 in this game. So truly unfortunate that the ball ended up in Facundo Campazzo's hands. Really should not have been there. Monte Morris at the starting one here. 12 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds on 25% shooting. So not the best, but still an overall decent game besides the shooting performance. But yeah, I mean, they are definitely struggling without Paul Millsap in company. Unfortunate, they need them at the 4, the 5 for the beef. They did not get it there this game, obviously. So, well done by the Wizards getting the win. Alrighty, here we go. Last game of the night. Bucks, Pelicans, and we've got film on this one too, so let's watch this one. Pelicans down 125-128, so down 3 with 14 seconds left. Let's watch the final couple of seconds here. They get the steal off the inbound, so very well done. They don't have to foul. They get the steal. Now it's just who's going to take the last shot. Lonzo passes it to Brandon Ingram, who passes it to Seth Curry, who passes it back to Lonzo, who passes it back to Brandon Ingram, who goes and drives and passes it to Zion, but they get the charge. They get the charge. Just hot potato at the end of this game. Truly unfortunate that nobody wanted to take that 3. Seth Curry could have pulled it there. Lonzo could have pulled it there. Brandon Ingram could have pulled it there. But they all just go, no, you take it. No, you take it. No, you take it. And then they just wait so long that freaking Dante DiVincenzo takes a charge. Takes a charge against Brandon Ingram. And that's the game. Turnover. Bucks go. Score another free throw. 4-point lead with the second left. That's game over. So unfortunate by the Pelicans. They battled all game long. Had the lead, as we said multiple times throughout this game. Just unfortunately, nobody wanted to be that last man to either, tie the game, bring it into overtime, or lose the game. Just nobody wanted that on their head. Unfortunate there. Of everybody that's on this Pelicans team, I think, Brandon Ingram should be taking the one. Either Brandon Ingram or Seth Curry is probably the two I would trust the most. Then probably Danny Green. Then Lonzo. Then Zion. If it's a 3-pointer, if it's a 2-pointer, give it to either Brandon Ingram or Zion Williamson. But if it's a 3, I give it to Brandon Ingram first, Seth Curry 2, Danny Green 3, Zion or Lonzo 4, Zion 5. So a little unfortunate here by the Pelicans. Truly a tough loss. This one is going to sting, especially of how well they all played. So let's start breaking down these stats now. We'll start here with the Pelicans. Even though they lost, we'll start with them first. Zion Williamson, just a stud, folks. Truly a stud here. 34 points, 6 assists, 8 rebounds on 57% shooting. 0 of 2 from 3. Unfortunate. Taking a little bit of more threes there. Don't want to see those start creeping up, Zion. Unless you start hitting them, but let's, focus on making them in practice before you start bringing them into the game, because then you'll be like freaking Blake Griffin out there. Brandon Ingram, 23 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists on 44% shooting. He was 1 of 10 from 3. Not great. Now we know why he passed up. He passed up the 3. He's like, I'm not hitting this shit. I'm passing. I'm not gonna hit it. What else do we get here? And Seth Curry didn't play. Oh, that was Eric Bledsoe we were calling, unfortunately. Did we know Seth Curry wasn't playing? Did we say it was a game time decision? Yeah, we may have, actually. All right, so that was Eric Bledsoe up there. Not hitting it. Was it Eric Bledsoe? He was number 3. What's his number? Number 5? What's Josh Hart? Was it Josh Hart? Number 3. Oh, okay. It was Josh Hart. All right, Josh Hart. Yeah, I would definitely have Josh Hart taking the 3 over. So now that we know that, it would be Brandon Ingram 1. I want Brandon Ingram taking the shot, whatever, because he's kind of the main playmaker here. And then Seth Curry 2, Josh Hart 3 if he's on the floor, Lonzo Ball 4, Danny Green 5. All right, but back to the stats here. Steven Adams, pretty nice night trying to contain the beef of Giannis and freaking Brook Lopez and all that company. So Steven Adams goes 7 points, 13 rebounds, 5 offensive boards, 4 assists, so not bad overall by him. -4 as we see, but hey, I mean, everybody else wasn't doing that great either. We see Zion a -11, we see Eric Bledsoe a -4, so Steven Adams being a -4, or Eric Bledsoe a -20, so Steven Adams being a -4 isn't too bad overall. He was kind of doing decent work against Giannis. It's a tough matchup to go against. Eric Bledsoe in the starting lineup here, taking over for Seth Curry, 16 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds on 38% shooting, 4 of 10 from 3. Not terrible overall. And then Lonzo Ball, 20 points, 8 assists, only 1 rebound, 6 of 10 from 3, and 50% overall. So not a terrible game by Lonzo. The points were there, the assists were there. Decent defense, as we see, a +5, so we'll give it to Lonzo. Pretty nice night overall. He's having a pretty good week here. He's kind of winning us over. He's elevating his play a little bit, getting better, points and rebound, really kind of focusing on that. So nice couple of game stretch here for Lonzo, and we definitely respect it. Alrighty, and then off the bench, what do we got here? Josh Hart, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. JJ Redick, 9 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. And Willie Hernangomez, 10 points, 5 rebounds. So not very deep. They only had 3 players playing off the bench. So, I mean, only playing freaking 8 players in this game. A little, and they were still competitive. That's pretty damn good. Very, very impressive performance here by the Pelicans. Truly unfortunate they couldn't close out the game, unfortunately. Alrighty, now let's go to the Bucks now, and we see their starting lineup changed a little bit. I think I'm really about it. I think I am truly about this. So here we go. Dante DiVincenzo at the 1, Chris Middleton at the 2, Bobby Portis at the 3, Giannis at the 4, and Brook Lopez at the 5. So the main change there is Chris Middleton going from the 3 to the 2, and then Bobby Portis getting elevated off the bench to the 3 spot. So it worked fantastic here, and I think this is the starting lineup that they should be going with. I think they can consistently win with this, because Dante DiVincenzo at the starting point guard, he was actually doing pretty decent all game long. We saw he had the game-winning charge, great defense, and then these stats here: 24 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds on 56% shooting, 4 of 7 from 3. I mean, what a performance by him. Probably his best performance of the season. So we'll see if this lineup sticks, because Chris Middleton even had probably his best game of the season. 31 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds on 58% shooting, 2 of 4 from 3. And then Giannis still got it done, 38 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. And Bobby Portis even stepped it up off the bench at the starting 3 position, 12 points, 8 rebounds on 55% shooting. This is what we're talking about. And then Brook Lopez steps up as well, 12 points, only 5 rebounds, but still decent defense down there at a +5, still working against Steven Adams. So the starters really kind of all got it done. Nobody off the bench did great. Pat Connaughton had 8 points in 26 minutes on 75% shooting, so that was decent. But then Brian Forbes, 2 points. Thaddeus Antetokounmpo, 0 points in 7 minutes, and Sam Merrill, 2 points in 7 minutes. So the starters really got it all done for the Bucks here in this new lineup of Dante at the 1, Chris Middleton at the 2, Bobby Portis at the 3. I think this can stick, so we'll see if they stick with this lineup. I love the fact that Chris Middleton's kind of the 2 now and not the 3. I never thought that Chris Middleton was that great at the 3. He was kind of decently consistent, not consistent enough where it's going to kind of win games on a consistent basis and be kind of the true number 2, the number 2 scoring option. So love Chris Middleton here at the 2. Fantastic work by the Bucks to close out this game. Great job by literally every single one of their starters from the 1 to the 5, getting it done from the start to the finish. As we said, Dante DiVincenzo with the game kind of sealing block or charge call. Alrighty, so well done to the Bucks, winning 129-125.